Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Tea with me, Tracy V. the morning show that gives you motivation, inspiration, and education to start off your day in a good way and hopefully does something to your life to elevate it to the next level.
Yes.
Today, today I have with me Terrance Tucker, and Terrance is the brain, the man behind the Tuck project, and we're going to talk a lot about that today because I really want to focus on that organization because I think he's doing really great things in that organization. But he's going to tell us a little bit about himself, some backstory about how the Tuck project came into fruition, and then we're going to take it from there. So Terrance, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Actually, first of all, first and foremost, thank you for having me. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
having me. You know, you are a huge inspiration to me. So thank you so much for having me. Okay, God bless you. But I'm happy to be here. You know, my name is Terrance Tucker from Columbia, South Carolina, the smallest, biggest state, well, the smallest, biggest city ever. And I went to South Carolina State University. Then I moved to Washington, D.C. for like 6 years. And while I was in D.C., I said, hey, man, I seen so much growing up, that I want to give back to my community when I get back home. So I moved back south, right? Moved back to Columbia, South Carolina, and started my own nonprofit called the Tuck Project, where we are a male mentoring nonprofit where we mentor young men from 9 through 19 years of age, where we focus solely on at-risk youth, okay? Like we're just trying to guide them, right, mold them, right, build them, and motivate them to be more than what they see. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing that since 2016. We started with the five young men, okay? We started with 5 young men, and now we're at 192.
Wow.
We're in 15 different schools, and we're based in Columbia, South Carolina, but now we're in Augusta, Georgia, and we're in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're in Charlotte, North Carolina. What's up, Charlotte? So we are excited, man. We have 22 volunteers. They are loyal. They are faithful. They are hard workers, man. God bless y'all. Thank God for sending y'all to me. Because trust me, my work could not be completed without them. Okay, so we are excited. One second. Shout out to my seniors. They actually graduated. We had 9 seniors to finish school this year. We know it was tough. We know you couldn't finish. We know you couldn't go to prom, and we know you couldn't finish the way you wanted to. But we're so proud of you. You have so much in store for you. All right. So, salute to those seniors, man. Those 2020 seniors.
23?
No, it was 2020. My bad.
Okay.
We had 9 seniors from high school
to
graduate. And we had 3 college seniors to graduate this year.
Nice. Yeah. Really nice.
2 from Claflin University and 1 from Furman University.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So I know you said you grew up in Columbia, South Carolina. Actually, one of my really good friends lives in South Carolina, in Columbia, as a matter of fact.
That's a good person.
And then you went off to college and you decided you wanted to come and give back to the community. But why did you want to do that? What propelled you to make that decision? I know you have a backstory of your own, so let's talk about
my testimony. We grew up hard, man. We grew up in substandard conditions. We didn't have a lot of male mentors growing up, so a lot of my friends made horrible, mistakes. My dad was in the home, but my dad worked like 3 jobs. So we were always told what we couldn't be, right? And there were not many people going to college where I'm from. Okay. So I was a big, sports star, right? Football, basketball, all that stuff, right? Like, we got the awards and stuff like that, right? Name in the paper, right? The whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody told me that you needed grades to go to college. Nobody. Because nobody from our high school was really going to college.
Okay.
We were, right? So we were trained to go to the military or to get a trade, right? So that my parents didn't go to college. You see what I'm saying? So my thought process was, hey, man, you play basketball, right? You be cool, go to sports, then you good. But here's what happened. My senior year, right? There was a college coach that came to my house and said, son, we love your tape. We love your film. We love you. But we have to go to your guidance counselor's office to see, to see if you meet those qualifications to, let's say come to our school.
Right.
Lo and behold, I had no idea, Miss Allen. I had no idea that my GPA was a 1.4.
Really?
A whopping 1.4. But
so
I was
your
like,
counselor never spoke to you?
Ma'am?
Your counselor never spoke to you about it?
My 10th grade year, my mother, me and my mother, we were in my guidance counselor's office. Miss Cargile, my mother was sitting right here. She told me and my mother that she said that your son, he's not college material. So I believe that because she's the professional, right? So she knows more than me, obviously. So my thought process from my sophomore year was, hey, well, she knows more than me, right? So I'm not going to college. You see what I'm saying? So that was my mindset going forward. So I had no idea, that you needed to actually take these tests to go to college and all this stuff like that.
Right.
The SAT. Nobody told me none of that stuff. So when I left high school, right, most of my little friends were like going to college. My next step was a janitor for Dutch Park High School. Okay. So I went from being a superstar athlete, right, name in the paper, all that stuff, to being a lead janitor with a bunch of keys on my hip, mopping floors, right, and sweeping,
so,
right.
Not to cut you off, but you were not able to get a scholarship, a sports scholarship, because you didn't have the grades to support the scholarship.
Exactly. So I, which was heartbreaking, because you put so much work into sports, right? And your parents see so much in you, but I did not see nothing wrong with being a janitor because my mother was a janitor part-time.
Okay.
So I had no problems with the whole blue collar life, right? There was nothing wrong with hard work, okay? But there was a man named Dr. Witt who was the principal for that particular school during that time. He came to me one day and he asked me, he said, son, what are you doing here? I was like, what you mean it's my shift? What you mean what I'm doing here? He said, no, sir. He said, no. What are you doing here? And I said, listen, what are you trying to ask me? Because these bathrooms need to be clean, right? Right. He said, no, son. He said, whenever you come to work, you always smiling, right? You always saying, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. These teachers love you. Why are you here? When you're 20 years old, why are you my lead janitor? Why aren't you at college somewhere? My thought process was, sir, my guidance counselor told me that I was not college material. My parents didn't go to college. My friends didn't go to college. Most of my friends from the 9th grade did not make it to the 10th grade. Okay. So that's my thought process. Like, this job is paying me $10 an hour, man. I'm winning. I'm happy. I'm good. Leave me alone and let me do my job. but this gentleman saw something in me. Tall, a well-dressed, right, black man, right, spoke very good English, man. First time I ever seen that in my life. Right? He impressed me. He said, son, you are college material because you come to work on time, right? Plus you never leave when it's done, and you have good character. We're going to get you in school. My hands start sweating. head started sweating because now you're pressuring me to be more than I can see myself.
Right.
Right. But he called somebody named Dr. Judith Sally.
Mm-hmm.
Unbeknownst to him, the person he called was my aunt.
Oh.
Who was the dean of students for South Carolina State University.
Oh, okay.
And he called it. He said, "Hey, I got a guy here, man. I'm trying to get in school." She said, "What's his name?" His name is Terrance Tucker. She said, "Is his head big?" She said, "Yeah, his head kind of big." I said, "That's my nephew." What? That's my nephew. What are you doing with him? And he said, well, we're trying to get him in school. So my aunt took it over from there, and she had a conversation with my mother first. Then she had a conversation with me, and she said, "Son, we see it in you, but we can want it all day for you, but you have to want it." So don't ask me how she got me in South Carolina State because it may be illegal. All right, we don't want this to be on CNN.
Right.
We don't want no whistleblowers.
Right.
People snitching. People are telling on people nowadays. But she got me in South Carolina State University, and the rest is history, man. You know, I graduated with a 3.7 GPA. You know,
wow.
Yeah, and then I got a scholarship
from the person who was told that you were not college material. You graduated.
I was not college material.
You graduated with a 3.7.
A 3.7, but I credit that to my environment because I changed my environment. Right. Mm-hmm. First thing I started doing was really hang around guys who wanted it more than I did. Okay. So, you know, guys who really helped my actions accountable. Guys who were going to class, right, doing their schoolwork and stuff like that. That's who I started hanging around. That influenced me. That impacted me. So I was like, listen, man, y'all doing it, then I'm doing it, right? And that just shaped my life, man. And
what did you actually do in college? What was your degree?
Well, my bachelor's degree was in sports management.
Okay.
But I got a scholarship to get for a rehabilitation counseling master's program. So
you got a scholarship from free. Not being able to go to college, being told you're not. I have to keep going over this part. You were told by your guidance counselor that you were not college worthy to go on to college, doing sports management, getting a 3.7, graduating GPA, to getting a scholarship to do your master's.
The master's degree. Then in 2007, they gave me Scholar of the Year.
Oh my goodness. That is a success story. That is definitely a success story.
Sometimes you pat yourself on the back.
Yes.
Right? But that was the first time that I ever see my dad cry. My dad is 6'6", 280. Okay. It's not a crying man. whatever. But that was the first time because he heard the rumblings. He heard the naysayers his whole life. Because see, when I was like, when I was in middle school and high school, I suffered from a real severe speech impediment. So, so he heard teachers say, "Oh, your son, your son won't do this. Your son won't do this. He hangs with the wrong crowd." My dad had to listen to that because my dad was a pastor.
Oh, okay.
And so that really, that affected him. Because my dad didn't go to college either. So to have his son graduate from college twice was special to him.
I can imagine. I can really.
Yeah. So that's the Tuck Project right there. Me going back home to find those young men who heard those same negative things that I heard.
Right. So you said you started in 2016, correct?
2016.
Okay. So we're in 2020. So you've been in operations for 4 years. Tell me about some of your success stories, because I'm a nonprofit consultant, right? So
we know this.
Okay, you're gonna make me laugh too much on this interview.
Listen,
So tell me about some of your success stories. Like, so I know you told me this year you had 9 guys graduate from high school, 3 from college. So is that the end goal? Like you said, to come back to breathe life into these young men who have heard nothing but negativity throughout. And I used to be a teacher too.
Right.
So throughout elementary, middle school, and high school, they hear nothing but negativity. And here you come in, probably in the middle school or the high school, to change that entire focus. So I'm thinking the end goal is to get them graduated, change their mindsets, and go on to college if college is in their future. Okay.
Right.
So how many
change their narrative?
Right.
Change their narrative.
And let them know that there's more than the circumstances that they're currently in.
Right. We have so many young men. See, we can't just leave it up to the school system.
No.
Because we have so many young men who fall through the cracks, right? Like those young men who may not play sports, right?
Right.
Those young men who don't play in the band, right? But they have a C average. What happens to them? Do you just tell them that they go work in a plant, right? Go work in the mall somewhere. Go get a trade. No. Just listen. You control your greatness. Right? It's not about where you start, it's where you finish. But it also helps who's motivating you, who's pushing you, who are your examples.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Who are your examples? We are the examples, right? We believe that it takes a strong village for one.
Yes.
Right? But it takes you being consistent, right? Because we have so many young men who come from single parent households. We have 22 young men whose fathers are incarcerated.
Wow.
So their perception sometimes may be a little screwed because of music, the TV, right, social media, right. They don't know what their future can be because they only see what's in front of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which was my problem. So we try our best to expose these young men to college. Right? So we have college tours for these young men where we take them around positive people, but we also have positive men to come back who are battle tested.
Okay.
Right? To come back to share their testimonies, to really share their stories about where they come from. Those same struggles, right? Those same journeys to say, hey man, here's what happened to me. Here's where I'm at. Bro, you can do it. Bro, I'm telling you, you can do it. Here's how you do it. You see what I'm saying? We have so many young men who have received scholarships,
So do you help them with the application process for college and getting financial aid and support them through the college process as well? So you're not just leaving them at high school. If they do decide to go on to college, you're helping them step by step through that process as well.
Oh, step by step. Step by step. We've had the blessing and the privilege and the honor to form so many positive relationships with different schools and with their what is it? You call that department? The admissions departments.
Okay.
And we formed so many great relationships where now we have a pipeline almost. Where now you have some college recruiters calling me like, "Hey, dude, you got anybody you can send us? Like, give me 5 minutes."
That's good.
Because that's what it's about. It really takes a strong community, those who care about these young men and those who actually care about these young men's future. That's the Tuck Project. We want to make sure that these young men become responsible, productive citizens in America. That's the goal, right? And we're trying to breed, better fathers, in-home fathers. In-home fathers.
In-home fathers. That's the key right there. In-home fathers.
In the home. When you come home, stay home.
Yes. I totally agree. I absolutely agree. In-home fathers, that is the key right there. Understanding that you have to find a woman that you love, respect, and stay. Once you start making kids, stay with those kids.
Stay in the home. My dad came home every single day, man, and I'm so thankful for him because he came home every single day. Every single day.
And I just want to
just his presence alone saved my life. Man.
Right. I want to piggyback on that part because you had a father in the household, but like you said, in order for your father to support your household, he had to work 2 or 3 jobs, right? So he wasn't a home father. But imagine that you had 2 parents in your household, but the voice that you were hearing in the educational system was stronger than the voice you were hearing at home.
Exactly. Because see, it's like
that's to show how strong of an influence teachers have on their students.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because we have so many parents who did not go to college, you know, who didn't do this, didn't do that. And so, like I said, my dad worked hard. My mother did too. So, you know, whenever we actually went to school, we thought in our heads, look, listen, you're the professional. You know what's going on, not me. So by you telling me that I'm not college material, hey, she must know what she talked about because she had a degrees. We don't have degrees, right? So my mindset was, hey, you know, maybe, you know, hey, you know, maybe she knows what she's talking about. And then when you look around your neighborhood, nobody went to college, right? You have a bunch of plant workers, right? Guys that, you know, guys that work for the city, meaning, you know, they, you know, you might have guys riding dump trucks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that makes up the majority of your neighborhood, right? Those blue collar workers. So those seemingly, those really, they're the guys you're looking up to. We're not going on college tours. You see, so we have no idea that you can go to college. We have no idea, you know, what a scholarship is, what a FAFSA is, what a clearinghouse is. We have no idea of this. We just know that we have to work to pay bills. That's it. So we make sure that we train our young men by their sophomore year to start looking at colleges. Looking at colleges.
So what grade are you taking them in, and how are you selecting the young men?
So we start from 9 years old through 19.
Okay. So you go through
pretty much
all the way through.
Yeah. Okay. So if they go to college, we with them until they finish college.
Okay.
But if they, let's say, go into the military or they get a job or something, 19 is the cutoff.
Okay.
Now that's on the paper, of course. You know, we still keeping track of them.
Of course.
You know.
Yeah.
But when you in college, you have those college mistakes where you out there, you doing, you know, you out here, boy, you shouldn't have did that. You know. So they calling you late night, like, man, I didn't got in trouble. So you know, but we are, you know, we get a lot of referrals from schools because we're in 15 schools. So, you know, a lot of referrals from teachers, principals, guidance counselors, parents. You can say social media has been huge for us, extremely huge for us. And, you know, just, you know, you can say networking.
Right.
You know, that's been paramount, I should say. Getting out there, you know, beat the pavement.
Yeah. How are you getting funding?
So we get a lot of donations. You know, a lot of donations, man, from churches. Listen, for some reason, man, churches love us. Don't ask me why. You know, but that fried chicken and, you know, yellow rice is good. But churches love us. You know, we work hard. You know, we have you know, we actually have so many partnerships with you know, with you know, different foundations, but those schools, man, those different districts, hey, God bless you.
Let me break it down for people who are listening. The reason he's so successful is because he puts in the work. Okay, he has the statistics to prove that his programs and services work.
Yes, ma'am.
He talks about them constantly. If you follow him on LinkedIn, you'll know. He talks about and promotes his programs on a consistent basis. All right. And those are the key. He's building those partnerships, because I talk about this, and I want to really reiterate that this is a Black-owned nonprofit organized, a Black-run, because you don't own nonprofits, a Black-run nonprofit organization. And far too often we see Black-run nonprofit organizations crying boohoo tears about the fact that they can't get ahead, and it's because they're Black-run. But no, if you set up your systems and processes the way it should be, you collect that data, you utilize that data to push your organization's mission even further, you will be successful. And that is what he's doing. He's developing those partnerships. He has a system in place of selecting these students, of following these students. So he has the evaluative process. He has the data that he can, and he follows them even after they're out of the program to show proof positive that the program, he's changing lives. Remember, you're all about, your mission is to impact the community, and that is what he's doing. By changing those 9 young men who possibly would not have graduated from high school, who just graduated from high school, guess what? They probably have younger brothers and sisters who are looking up to them now and going, oh, so Johnny did it. Okay, I can do this too. That is what you're there for as a nonprofit organization, to impact one person who that trickle down effect makes lasting changes within the community.
Exactly.
And that's what this project is doing.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Trust me, man. If I die tomorrow, you're gonna speak at my funeral.
Well, we're not wishing death on you, so you're not dying tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
just saying, though. You get knock on your door, you know what?
I do really want to commend you for the good work that you're doing within your community, because we need a lot of organizations out here to help support our men. I know there are tons of organizations, because I mentor for some of them, that support young women, but sometimes we forget the young men in our communities need support as well. And sometimes they need a little bit more support than our young ladies do need, because, you know, a lot of women are raising men, and I'm a single mom, and I can tell you, but I have brothers, right, who have been extremely influential on my son. As a woman, I don't know how to raise a man. I raised a child who is my son, but I could not shape him into the man that he is today without the support of my brothers. So men need men, women need women, right? So, and my son is a phenomenal young man today, and I always have to thank my brothers for being there to guide him through the process of becoming a whole man, not the version of the man that his mother would have shaped, but the man that he is today. So what you're doing is very commendable. All the men who volunteer to do this as well, to share their success stories and mold these young men, I commend them as well, because it's needed in our community. So,
very much so.
Yeah, if you had to leave our audience with 3 takeaways that you want them to keep in the forefront of their minds, what would that be?
That you can make an impact. You know, doesn't matter your status, your class, your race, your height, your size, whatever. You can make an impact. Mentoring is so needed. Mentoring is so needed. You can take one young man, one young woman, right? You can change their life. That one youth that you decide to actually mentor has the ability to change 20 people's lives.
Yes.
Okay? So it's so important. Give back to your community. Listen, we have monthly homeless drives. Okay? You have to give back to your community. Okay? We need your gifts. We need your talents. More importantly, we need you. We need you to give back to your community. Because why? Because look around the world right now. Watch the news. Okay? You're nothing without your community. Nothing without your community.
Right.
We can be so powerful when we come together. Okay? So these young kids, they should benefit from us being here.
Right.
Okay, your son will benefit from you being here. You see what I'm saying? So it is so imperative that we give back to the youth, right? But we have to be the example, not just words, but the example, right?
Yes.
And really, let's say, shine that light on why they should be successful, how to be successful, when to be successful. Okay, because their ancestors they died for this.
I agree.
And vote. Go out and vote.
Yes. Yes.
Go out and vote.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Please.
All right. So if you want to support the Tuck Project, you can go to thetuckproject.com. That's THETUCK project.com and support the Tuck Project. If you want to get this program in your school and you are willing to pay for it, you can reach out to thetuckproject.com to get this program in your school. And you will know if you need this program in your school. If you have a lot of young men who are just not making it to the finish line, this may be something that you would want to implement in the high school, the junior high schools, the elementary schools. If you're listening and you're on the board of education for your town, your municipality, whatever it is, and you're having a low graduation rate, or a lot of young men who are dropping out of high school, or just getting in a lot of trouble because they don't have that male figure, this may be something that you want to look into getting into your community. So again, reach out to thetuckproject.com. Go ahead.
One more thing. Shout out to South Carolina State University. All right. Shout out to South Carolina State University, the best HBCU in the world. I said what I said.
All right. Terrance, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. Thank you so much.
I enjoyed your story. It was very inspirational and motivational. I hope that some people that are listening to this actually reach out to you, support your organization, or inquire about getting this project into their school districts. So thank you again for joining me this morning for Morning Tea. And until next time, everyone, have a great rest of your day.
Take care now.
All right. Bye.
Okay.